Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a different part of my apartment. Usually I film over in the corner near my dining area, but I figured I was not in the mood to put all the lights up, so I have some natural light here. I thought I'd work with it and see what happens. So I was going to film a video today about compliance checks, and that is when a flight attendant moves through the cabin, double checking that everyone's trays are up, bags are stowed, seatbelts are on, and so on. I'm not sure if you can hear the airplane going over. When airplanes come into Las Vegas, when they've made their final approach into the area, they almost always fly directly over my apartment. So I've gotten really used to hearing airplanes. So if you hear that in the background, I apologize. So I was going to film that video about compliance, and then I got an email from one of my subscribers. I did film a whole video responding to all of her questions, and then I realized I used her name a lot, and then there's some personal information she includes here that she may not want her name and her personal information shared so much. So while there's a couple things I will mention here that are personal, I don't want to include her name just in case she doesn't want, she's not as public as I am. So if this is you, you know who this is. So you sent me an email today with 5 different questions that I thought were so good and so timely that I know that lots of other people would like to hear the answer or my opinion to these answers to these questions. So I thought I would share, I'd respond to your email by a video with these answers, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sorry to keep looking over at my computer. Let's start. So this wonderful subscriber received an invitation to this hiring event on August 1st. I will be there, as I think I mentioned. Oddly enough, this event is just hiring for our Dallas base. Usually our invitations are listed. There's a number of different bases that are listed, and so you could pretty much choose where you want to be based. Here, it looks like just Dallas is the base, and that's a little weird. So her first question is, another airplane, is based on that paperwork that she received, Dallas would be the base she'd be assigned to. Yes. The only reason I'd imagine it would be different is if there were so many CJOs offered that they couldn't all go to Dallas and they have room in other bases. So that's a slight possibility, but that's exactly where you'd be based. And she says it's just so odd that many don't receive this information till training. I agree, it's very odd. Most airlines don't let you know where you'll be based until you're already in training. I think that's so strange, because how do you prepare, how do you find a crash pad? What is that noise? I don't know if you can hear it, but oh, it's cicada. Those bugs, they make so much noise. So yeah, other airlines, they don't let you know until you're already in training. I don't know how you find a crash pad, find an apartment, make plans. I have no idea. But with my airline, they let you know right after you get your conditional job offer. All right, the second point really touched me because that's my experience totally. She said she's not a college graduate per se. She attended some trade school, but she has over 30 years of experience working in customer service. Yay. How good are my chances here? Unfortunately, it's something she's regretted her entire adult life. I agree. I'm 49 years old. She's a little bit older than I am. Thank God someone has to be older than me. I've always regretted not having a college degree. Everywhere I've worked, people around me always seem to have a degree. I watch a lot of other flight attendant videos. Fly with Stella is one of my favorites. Of course, everyone subscribes to her. She had that same question recently, and her answer was different than mine. She said yes. She suggests or recommends that everyone apply, maybe with just her airline, that they have a college degree to help them set themselves apart from everybody else. Okay, it's a good answer, a good opinion, I guess. Personally, if you have strong customer service experience And if you don't have strong customer service experience, if you have some good volunteer experience, working with children, working with the elderly in any safety capacity, I think those things with some good keywords and key phrases on your resume would be just as strong as an application as someone who has a business degree or a history degree or even travel and tourism degree. If you have a degree, awesome, congratulations, that's something I'm envious of. I just never applied myself, mostly fear. I'm not a good student and I couldn't afford school. I'm sure that's an airplane you can hear. They come in pretty low sometimes. So I don't think you need to have a college degree, especially not with most American carriers, and especially ultra low cost carriers. I mean, I can't imagine them requiring a degree ever. But you know, I fly Delta, I fly Southwest, I fly, who else do I fly? I fly Frontier. But I fly Delta and Southwest the most outside of my own airline. And I'll tell you, if all of those people have college degrees, not to disparage them, not to put them down, but if they all had to have college degrees to get that job that they have, I don't know how it improved their job performance. I hope that didn't come across as bad. Sorry. But no, I don't think it's required to have a college degree at all. Number 3, I hear this all the time. I see it on Facebook. I see it in questions that I get, is the whole treading in water issue. And I'm sorry to keep looking over at my computer. I wouldn't say I'm a great swimmer, but I certainly can stay above water. Is this a deal breaker, or could this be a deal breaker? No, I don't think so. There are some European carriers, I think, that require you, and there might be an American carrier, I haven't heard of them, that require you to actually swim like a couple hundred yards or a couple laps or something. I don't know what airlines those are. If you guys know, drop a link below. I think we'd all like to know. But all you have to do with my airline and most is to be able to stay afloat. You don't even have to tread water so much. You're never going to be thrown into a pool without a life vest. That would be unsafe. Even in an emergency situation, you're going to have a life vest. So in my airline, you had to be able to get into the pool. We were actually at one point sitting in the life raft, and we had to like fall back as if we were going scuba diving, you know. So you pinch your nose. Sorry, my mustache. You have to, hold on to your vest, plop back. Just don't show fear. No fear. That's the deal breaker. The life vest isn't very comfortable. You have that strap around your waist, but that doesn't really offer a lot of support. So it just the life vest goes around your neck, really, and it almost kind of holds you up by the neck. If you're a little claustrophobic, it'll be like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. Chill, relax, you'll be fine. Don't get upset. In our pool and during our training, the pool wasn't very deep, so I actually had to hold my legs up because they wanted to make sure you could float with a life vest once again. We did have to move into a couple of different positions and a couple of different patterns to be able to better assist people who were unable to swim or stay afloat, those passengers, those in an aircraft emergency water ditching. We had to get into a position to help assist a wounded passenger into a life raft. That was me. I was actually the wounded passenger. They had to actually get into a life vest. It was comical. I probably weighed 235 pounds, and they had to lift me dead weight up out of the water into the life raft. Yeah. It was not elegant. So no, don't worry about not being able to swim a strong swimmer. You're going to be just fine. Fourth question I see all the time, and I saw it on Facebook recently. Will they give me 50 pounds to lift over my head during the interview? I'm pretty strong in lifting, but over my head? So, when I participated in the hiring event as a flight attendant in the last Vegas hiring event. They asked us to pack our rollerboard for a 4-day trip. Now, I don't pack as much as some people, so my bag isn't totally that heavy. But even if you pack a significant amount of stuff for a 4-day trip in a rollerboard, and I should say why they asked us to bring our bag. So they asked us to pack a 4-day trip, pack for a 4-day trip. I'm not being very clear at all. And then to bring that with us to the hiring event. And that was the bag that some of you were going to use to practice lifting up over your head. So you're actually picking up flight attendants' rollerboards. So you know exactly what you're going to be carrying around when you're working. So you can take your shoes off, your heels off if you're wearing high heels. That doesn't apply to you guys. Not most of you. You can pick up the bag and put it on the seat and then continue to lift it up over your head. But this is really just to show that you can pick up a suitcase, a small one at that, and put it in the overhead bin. So I know 50 pounds sounds like a lot. It's not. If you have ever babysat a child, you can do this. Easy. Okay, so if you've ever lifted a child up, you can lift this bag. No worries. Let's see. All right, this last one. This last one might be one of the reasons I wanted to film this video instead of actually write a response. Another airplane. So her question, number 5. My husband and I will celebrate our 35th anniversary. Isn't that crazy? My marriage lasted 1 year and 4 days. I shouldn't laugh. My husband and I will be celebrating our 35th anniversary in December, and we have a family trip planned for 8 days. Do you think this is something, all right. Do you think this is something I should discuss during a face-to-face interview if given a chance? You can see my face right now, right? No. So do you think this is something I should discuss at the interview? No, 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 no. I love you. No. If not, do you see a possible way of being able to drop trips by then? I know I'll be on probation, not sure how to handle. All right, so I love you. I do. The airline will love you, but their needs will come first. Unfortunately, while on probation particularly, and on reserve, there's really no way to drop trips because you don't have trips. You're there for an emergency, replacement. You won't be able to drop trips. With my airline at some point in the past, we could drop reserve days. You wouldn't be paid for those days, but you could drop them. We can't right now, and I'm not quite sure why. Our union is supposed to be looking into that. But we can't drop we can't drop reserve days. We do have a lot of time off. When you're on reserve, you get at least 13 days off, or 12 days off. Yeah, 12 days off a month. 8 of those days are broken into 2 4-day blocks. Those 4-day blocks are never next to each other. They're spread out during the course of the month. So if your husband and family do go away for a family trip for those 8 days, you could potentially go, if you bid for your reserve period to be have those days off, you could potentially go for a couple of days. But that's really about it. I do apologize. That's not the answer I wanted to give you. But, all right, put a comma there. Don't put a period at the end of that sentence. Because there is a silver lining. There is a silver lining. There's always a silver lining. So, yes, I should say no. You're probably not going to be able to go on that 8-day family trip. Sorry. But, here's that silver lining. If you get this job and you get those wings and you're a flight attendant, you have flight benefits, right? You can travel. With my airline, I can travel domestically with any airline in the country. I can fly internationally with most airlines. There are 3 that we cannot travel with internationally. The rest we can, and all we do is pay taxes. We don't pay for the ticket. Nice, right? Your husband will have your flight benefits as well with our airline. Now, I don't have a partner, I don't have a husband, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a dog, I have nobody. Just you. I have you. So I don't know exactly the deal with traveling with your partner or your husband. I know that he would get your flight benefits with us, with your airline. He'd be your equal if he's traveling with you in terms of seniority. He'd be below other people if he's traveling by himself. But he would have your flight benefits with our airline. We fly a lot of places. And I don't know, again, what he would pay if he flew other airlines, but it wouldn't be a lot, I don't think. I don't know. So the silver lining is, you know, once you get a line, and that will happen so fast, your head will spin, is that you and your husband can take as much time as you want off. Once you have a line, and again, in my airline, I'd say right now, and this is a guess, I'm not speaking for the airline, I'd say a year and a half, you'll have a line. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I got one within 11 months. And with the way we're growing, it could be less than a year and a half. It could be about a year. After you get a line, you can drop as many trips as you want. You could drop the whole month. So if you and your husband want to go traveling for a couple weeks somewhere, you'll be able to do that. And you'll be able to do it in a way that's so affordable, if not free. So, you may not be able to go on that 35th anniversary trip for 8 days in December, but you will have the ability to travel in the future. One of the, you didn't ask it here, but, oh, you did sort of ask, is this something I should talk about during the interview? No, not at all. But who I would talk with this about, whatever, my grammar, is your husband. I would talk to your husband about this. Particularly, ask, and after 35 years, I think you probably have the skills to talk, right? So ask him, what are his expectations, really? What does he understand about your time away and what you'll be doing, and how will it affect your marriage and your relationship? What are his expectations? What are your expectations of him? Are you expecting him to be patient as he will have to be with you being away for 3, 4, or more days in a row? So you and your husband really should have a conversation about this family vacation. Now, I'm not married for 35 years. I don't know how important this day is to you. So I can't dismiss this 8-day trip as being not worth it. But if I had the choice, if I had to make a choice, do I go on this 8-day vacation to celebrate this anniversary that's amazing, or do I take the opportunity to go to training and become a flight attendant and have the flight benefits and the quality of life that I have? I would choose the flight attendant life over an 8-day family vacation after 35 years. So, it was a very long, rambling answer to a question I didn't want to answer. So, I'm sorry. So those were her questions. And again, I didn't want to say her name because there's some personal information there that I didn't know if she would want shared or not, because not everybody is as open as I am. But I want to thank you, my friend, for subscribing. Thank you. But for also writing these questions and saying some very nice things. If you have similar questions, if this was not your email that I read, if you have similar questions, certainly feel free to, I'll finish that sentence. Certainly feel free to drop a comment below. Drop me an email. My email is steven.pereira@gmail.com. It's the same name as my channel. I would suggest to my subscriber here and to you, if you're going to a hiring event, watch the video about the goldfish bowl question. Because I'll tell you, now that I've seen that experience from both sides, I was right on every single point. So I would watch that video again. I'd also watch the video, if you're older, I would watch the video again, hopefully you've already watched it, about being wanting to be a flight attendant, but being over 40 years old and being afraid. Because 22-year-olds always win, right? So I would watch that video again as well to remind yourself of all of the gifts that you're going to bring and all the skills you're going to bring to this new job as a flight attendant. Okay, so I have talked long enough as usual. I hope you have a great day, and I thank you very much for watching, and I thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. And I will see you later. Fly safe. Bye.